Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. So today I thought we would talk about the brand new Yubel support that was just revealed for Phantom Nightmare, which is the core set that is coming after Age of Overlord. So this won't be out for probably about 6 months over here in the TCG, but if you're familiar with Yubel, they're probably the best part of GX in my opinion at least. And they're the villain of Season 3, and they just, they're a really great character, honestly. That said, we're just going to hop right into the cards. First up, we have Spirit of Yubel. Now, if you're noticing anything and you like Elemental Hero Neos, this card mirrors Spirit of Neos. I'll throw it up on screen, both in its effects and the artwork, as you can see, the poses. But either way, it's a level 10 Dark Fiend monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. And it reads as follows. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it's special summoned, you take a spell trap from your deck that mentions Yubel and either add it to your hand or set it. This is very similar to what Spirit of Neos does, except it, substitute Yubel for Neos here. And it can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. And if it's destroyed, you get to special summon one of your Yubels that's banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard. So, literally anywhere. Just summon Yubel for free. Unlike Elemental Hero Neos, Yubel is actually a card that does stuff, which is, fantastic. And the new support for her is just, it's through the roof. These cards are actually, seem pretty good. We have Geist Grinder Golem here. Now, all of these cards are cards that Yubel played in the anime, and so I'll throw them up on screen. A lot of them are actually banned, which is very funny. But this one mimics Grinder Golem, a banned card for Link, related reasons. You can only special summon Geist Grinder Golem once per turn. You can reveal a Yubel monster in your hand, special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field, then you get to special summon the revealed monster to your field. So in other words, you can reveal, Spirit of Yubel, you can reveal actual Yubel and just summon them out. It's a really good way to just turn them out. And then once per turn, during damage calc, if this card battles a Yubel monster, your opponent gains 3,000 life points. Now, since this will always be on your opponent's field, you as the player who gives it to the opponent is going to be the one gaining 3,000 life points. And if you special summon Yubel while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field. So it just keeps recurring itself. Seems pretty solid. It doesn't search for anything, but I see this as a pretty good way to, turbo out a anime monster that's, kind of a brick, but seems very solid. Sacrificial Demon Lotus, this is a mirror of Samsara Lotus, which is, another banned card, which I, again, think is very funny. It's a level 1 Dark Fiend effect monster with 0 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You contribute this card as cost, special summon a Yubel monster from your deck. Just E-Telly from deck. It's a 1-for-1 target. This card's fantastic. It's a dark, just already fantastic card. And during your opponent's turn, when a monster effect is activated while you control a Yubel monster, quick effect, tribute this card. That effect becomes destroy a Yubel monster on the field, and Yubel then floats into, larger copies of itself. Just why not? It's a negation in a form that pluses you, similar to how, the Grapha Fusion does. Just fantastic card. Just unbelievable. And during the end phase, if you control Yubel and this card is in your graveyard, you can take this card and either add it to your hand or special summon itself. So it just also recurs itself. Why not? So when you use the effect to tribute to summon from deck, then it just comes out and is a negate as well. Just super one. It's a level 1 Dark Fiend, so it's super searchable. It's got 0 attack, 0 defense, so it's a target for stuff like Fury Rise map. Unbelievable card. Super searchable. Turbos out Yubel from deck and turns it into actual something you can do with it. Next up, probably the best card. It's a level 12 Dark Fiend effect fusion monster, which is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce German. I took German in high school. That doesn't mean I know how to pronounce this. It has 0 attack, 0 defense like Yubel, and the materials are 1 Yubel monster and 1+ effect monsters on the field. Can you think of a card that, might use monsters from both players' fields, one that maybe you can't respond to? I wonder if there's a way to, take advantage of the fact that this can just, super poly the entire board. I'm not looking forward to playing against this card. If it's fusion summoned, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each fusion material used for its summon. In other words, you also get to burn them for a whole ton of damage after you, just suck up their entire board, which I think is personally very, very funny. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. And if it battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, you get to burn them for attack equal to that monster's attack, and then banish it, so it's also removal. It burns them. This card does so much for Yubel as, a concentrated archetype, which I think it, kind of can safely be say is at this point. Actual, good cards now. We then have Nightmare Pain. It's a continuous spell card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy a dark monster in your hand or face of field, and if you do, you add Yubel or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand except itself. And while you control any Yubel monsters, all monsters your opponent controls must attack them if able, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would take from battles involving your Yubel monsters instead. It's a searcher, and it also pluses you by popping Yubel to let Yubel float into other copies of itself. Unbelievable card. I can't believe this is something that they can just give terrible decks. I mean, good for you, the Yubel bones, but like this card's crazy. It searches everything. And then we have Mature Chronicle. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is each time a Yubel monster or monsters that mention Yubel is a special summon, you get to place a Chronicle counter on this card, and you can remove up to 5 Chronicle counters from cards you control to activate one of these effects. Special summon a Yubel from your grave, so it recurs Yubel. Make sure that if you happen to lose them, it can bring it back immediately. 2, add one of your banished cards to your hand. It doesn't target, which is kind of nice, even though there's not really any way to remove stuff as a quick effect from the banish zone right now. I'm certain that eventually we will get to the point you can do that. 3, you get to banish a card from your deck, so you can play like some weird stuff that triggers on banish. I'm certain there are good things you can play to just as a banish target for this. 4, destroy a card on the field, non-targeting by the way. Really great option of removal. And 5, add Super Poly from deck to hand. Just add Super Poly, and then immediately use Super Poly and wipe your opponent's entire board. Just unbelievable. Considering that Super Poly is going to suck up the entire board. Just fantastic card. And then we have a continuous trap, Eternal Favorite. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of the following effects of this card's name once per turn. You can special summon one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, and then neither player can activate cards or effects when it's special summoned. And 2, if you control Yubel, discard a card to send this basic card from your spell trap zone to the graveyard. Fusion summon a Yubel monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including a Yubel monster. So it's also Super Poly. I think that there are ways to search favorite cards with the name Favorite. I forget what the card is. It's some Elemental Hero Neo support thing, but this card seems very searchable, I think at least, and is subsequently able to, immediately super polymerize the entire board. You can also banish the Yubel off of the Mature Chronicle, and then bring it back with Eternal Favorite. It's searchable with Mature Chronicle. All of these cards just seem ridiculous. The Grinder Golem seems like a little weak, but he seems, kind of fine to trigger the gimmick of the deck. Spirit of Yubel seems crazy. I'm just really happy to see that they're giving, not DM anime stuff like good support, especially like this character that has been forgotten and is such a beloved character. But I hope you guys are ready, because I'm going to try to tinker around with this a little later. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.